The most powerful versions of you are built in silence. No spotlight, no cheering section, just pressure, pruning, and preparation. This is the season where it feels like nothing's happening. But behind the scenes, everything is shifting. And sometimes you have to go ghost. And not to disappear, but to rebuild. And if you're trying to stay focused and stay on track while the process is slow, you're in the right place. If you're returning, welcome back. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, girl, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Let's get into it. Now, before you can thrive in your silent season, you have to recognize it for what it really is. Because if you mislabel it, you may be walking away from the very season that's meant to transform you. A silent season in your life is not punishment, it's preparation. It's not a delay, it's development. This is the part of your journey where things feel slow, unclear, or even invisible. But underneath the surface, you're being refined into your next level. Nobody's clapping, the process is not sexy, and the results are not instant. But this is where the foundation is laid, and anything built to last must be built deep before it can rise high. Your mindset is being rewired. Your patterns are being exposed. Your emotional resilience is being tested, and your consistency is being built without an applause. This is the season where God is saying, "Let me prepare you privately before I elevate you publicly." And the truth is, most people skip this part. They chase visibility over sustainability. They want the platform before the character. But you, girl, you are in the gym of your soul. You're lifting heavy, quietly and consistently. You're building something they can't see yet, but soon they won't be able to ignore. This is where self-trust is born. This is where your spiritual maturity deepens. This is where your identity gets rooted, not in who the world told you to be, but who you actually are. And once you understand what this season really is, you stop resenting the stillness and you start embracing the becoming. I want you to reframe silence as strategy. Say this out loud. This is not delay. This is divine development. This season is not about being seen. It's about becoming someone worth seeing. Let that be your anchor when doubt creeps in. Now, once you understand the purpose of a silent season, the next challenge is learning how to stay grounded, even when no one's clapping for you. Because the silent season will test your ego. It humbles you. You showing up, you doing the work, you pushing through discomfort, and it feels like no one sees it. No claps, no likes, no validation. And that can be frustrating because we're human. We all want to be seen, affirmed, and celebrated. But this part of your journey, girl, is not about applause. It's about alignment. It's about proving to yourself that your work is worthy, even if no one notices yet. This is where you learn to separate your discipline from your desire to be seen, to keep showing up when it's just you, your goals, your doubts, and your future self cheering from the sidelines. And trust me, people are watching, even when they're silent. But more importantly, you are watching. Your future self is watching. The woman you're becoming is observing every choice you make during this quiet season. Now, will you still show up when it's not glamorous? Will you still work hard without applause? That's the test. Because if you can master consistency without recognition, girl, you'll be unstoppable when the recognition finally comes. I want you to shift the spotlight. Instead of asking, why isn't anyone noticing me? Ask yourself, would I still do this if only my future self could see it? Let her be the reason. Let her be your audience. And trust, she is so proud of the person you're becoming. And speaking of not needing external validation to keep showing up, I want to thank today's sponsor, Coopert, for making quiet wins even easier. Coopert is a free browser extension, and smarter shoppers use it. Think of it as your AI-powered super shopping assistant that quietly runs in the background while you shop online. Coopert offers 3 powerful services: automatic coupon testing, cashback rewards, and price comparison. Coopert automatically finds and applies the best coupon codes to help you save money. without you ever needing to search, scroll, or second guess. And with this automatic coupon testing service, supported by over 3 million retailers, you're always getting the best deal available. Girl, we are not spending recklessly. We are saving intentionally. It works across Chrome, Edge, Opera, Firefox, and Safari on both desktop and mobile. Cooper supports cashback from over 76,000 retailers, including Temu, Walmart, Sephora, Macy's, and many more. And here's where it gets even better. The more you shop using Cooper, the faster your cashback is received. Cashback typically takes around 15 days to process. And once it's ready, you can redeem it via gift card, PayPal, or your bank card, whatever works for you. With over 6 million weekly users and access to over 200,000 global merchants, Cooper is helping women like us save money consistently and quietly. So click the link in my description to install Cooper for free and start saving instantly. You don't have to chase discounts. Cooper brings them to you. Now let's talk about why your inner work matters way more than your outer results. Because when the praise doesn't come, that's when you're invited to go deeper, not outward for attention, but inward for healing. Now this is your time to dig beneath the surface. It's not about numbers, followers, or aesthetics. It's about foundation. Because what's the point of looking like you have it all together if you still feel broken inside? In the silent season, your biggest assignment isn't to prove anything. It's to unpack everything that's been holding you back. The limiting beliefs, the unhealed wounds, the people-pleasing, the fear of failure, the fear of success. This is your chance to heal, not hustle, to build real self-trust, to get honest with yourself about what no longer fits in your life, and to gently release it without shame. Because if you don't do the inner work now, you'll keep getting the same lessons in different packaging. You'll chase new goals with the same old wounds and wonder why it never feels fulfilling. Real success starts internally. Before the glow up becomes visible, it becomes vibrational. I want you to start asking better questions. Journal these today. What am I healing from? What patterns am I breaking? Who am I becoming? What's no longer aligned with the future I'm building? Am I building a life that looks good or a life that feels right? Inner clarity leads to outer breakthrough. And when your inner world is in order, your outer results won't just be beautiful, they'll be sustainable. But hear this now. Once you start doing that deep inner work, you're going to hit a point where it feels like nothing is changing. And that's exactly when you have to keep showing up. Girl, silent seasons will test your consistency. There will be days when the discipline feels dry, when the effort feels invisible, and when every part of you wants to ask, what's the point? You will be tempted to stop because you're not seeing progress in the mirror, on the scale, in the bank account, or in your metrics. But that's exactly the test. Can you still show up when nothing is showing up for you? And this is where you separate emotion from execution. You're not waiting on motivation. You're led by vision. You're not driven by what's happening. You're anchored by who you're becoming. I've been listening to Myron Golden's videos lately, and he has one video where he talks about the difference between a choice and a decision. A choice gives you an exit, but a decision seals your identity. When you choose to be consistent, it's optional. But when you decide that this is who I am now, you cut off all other outcomes. You stop negotiating with old habits, and you start becoming the woman who shows up, no matter how quiet the progress looks. And the truth is, the work does feel pointless when you're only chasing outcomes. But when you're committed to the process, you realize that every quiet rep counts. Every small choice compounds. Every moment you show up when it's hard, you shift your identity. And that's not pointless, girl. That's powerful. I want you to start falling in love with the planting, not just the harvest. And I know I say this a lot, but remind yourself, I am not behind. I am underground, rooting deeply. I'm becoming unstoppable from the inside out. And instead of tracking perfection, start tracking presence. Ask yourself daily, did I water my goal today? Even just a little? That's what builds a life that blooms. with or without recognition. Now, showing up is powerful, but tracking your growth privately, now that's where your confidence is built in silence. You don't need a post, a story, or a comment section to validate your growth. You just need evidence. And that can live in your notebook, your notes app, or your heart. Social media isn't your scorecard. Your consistency is. And the most powerful transformations often happen off camera. It's the day you chose discipline over distraction. The moment you set a boundary you would have ignored last year. The morning you got up and journaled instead of scrolling. These moments, they're invisible to the world, but undeniable to your evolution. When you measure progress privately, you begin to build a stronger bond with yourself. You start to realize, I don't need to be seen to know I'm growing. I don't need applause to track momentum. You become your own proof. And that kind of quiet self-awareness, it builds unwavering confidence. I want you to create a sacred progress log. Every week, write down 3 things you did that no one else saw, but you know were powerful. Start with these prompts. What did I do this week that my past self wouldn't have done? Where did I choose growth over comfort? What am I proud of, even if no one knows about it? This list becomes your private highlight reel. Because just because it's not posted doesn't mean it's not powerful. And when you can celebrate yourself in private, you begin to master one of the most underrated skills of all, honoring the long game. The silent season does not come with applause. It doesn't offer quick wins, instant feedback, or overnight results. And that's why most people quit. They think their effort isn't working just because it isn't visible yet. But the truth is, you're not just building results. You're building resilience. You're building emotional muscle. You're building roots. This is not a quick fix season. Girl, this is not the Amazon Prime version of success. It's the slow, sacred, soul deep work that takes time because it's meant to last. You're becoming the kind of woman that can hold the success that she's asking for. Not just reach it, but sustain it. And here's the thing. Progress is often quiet. It's not in the mirror, it's in the moments. When you bounce back from something that would have broken you last year. When you pause before reacting. When you choose rest over burnout. When you stay consistent even when it's boring. Those subtle shifts, that's what real transformation looks like. That's what makes your glow up undeniable when it finally becomes visible. I want you to trust the slow build. Say this to yourself. Each quiet decision I make today is shaping the future version of me. You're not just waiting for results. You're compounding effort into identity. Keep planting. The harvest will come. And when it does, girl, it'll be rooted, real, and ready to last. Now, if you're still with me and you've learned the power of not saying too much, drop this emoji in the comments, girl, because we're moving different over here, and it's intentional. Now, long-term success doesn't just require patience, it requires protection, especially when it comes to your energy. In this season of becoming, your energy is not just valuable, it's sacred real estate. Not everyone gets access. Not every opinion deserves entry. Not every platform gets your presence. Because when you're building something intentional, anything that disrupts your clarity is too expensive. A 5-minute scroll can spiral into self-doubt. A 2-minute conversation with the wrong person can water down your momentum. You cannot build something extraordinary while entertaining everything ordinary. This is not the time to scatter your focus. This is a time to preserve your power, to be intentional about what you listen to, what you consume, and how you spend your mental bandwidth. Because your peace is your productivity, and your clarity, that's your compass. I want you to establish an energy perimeter. This is your invisible boundary that keeps distractions out and alignment in. Inside that space, create your daily sacred hour. Turn off the noise, close the tabs, unfollow what drains. This time belongs to you. Use it to reconnect with your voice, to write, to plan, to pray, to breathe. Protect your inner world like your next level depends on it, because it does. And when your energy is protected, you're finally able to stay anchored in the version of you're becoming, even if she's not fully visible yet. The silent season isn't just about enduring the quiet. It's about becoming unshakable in it. Because the woman you're shaping in this season, she's not being created for claps, cameras, or captions. She's being created for capacity. This version of you, the one showing up with discipline and grace while no one is watching, she's becoming the standard. Not just for how you live, but for how you love, how you lead, think, and carry yourself. You may not have the milestones yet. You may not be posting wins or making public moves. But behind the scenes, your identity is maturing. Your self-respect is deepening. Your alignment is tightening. And when you move from that place, you no longer operate out of desperation or urgency. You move with certainty because you're not hoping to become her someday. You're already walking in her footsteps now. I want you to shift from waiting to walking in it. Speak like her, dress like her, decide like her, set boundaries like her. Not later, now. And ask yourself, what does the future version of me no longer entertain? What are her rituals, her rhythms, her reactions? How can I lead with her energy today? Even in this quiet, in-between moment. You don't need permission to evolve. You don't need an audience to transform. You just need intention. Because when this season ends, you won't step into the next level. You'll arrive as her. But here's the truth, girl. No matter how focused, intentional, or disciplined you are, there comes a point in your silent season where you have to let go. And that's where the real power is. Learning to release control and let God do the heavy lifting. Not everything in the silent season is meant to be fixed. Some things are meant to be felt, to be surrendered, to be placed back in God's hands so you can breathe again. You were never meant to carry the full weight of your purpose alone. You're not here to figure out your every step. You're here to take the next faithful one. There's a difference between effort and force. And forcing what isn't flowing is a sign you've shifted from alignment to anxiety. The silent season is where you learn the art of release. You learn how to sit with your uncertainty without self-sabotage. You learn that faith isn't passive, it's powerful. Because sometimes the most strategic thing you can do is rest, trust, and stop micromanaging the divine timing of your life. Let go of needing to know when, how, or who. That's not your job. Your job is to become the woman who's ready when it arrives. When it starts to get heavy, don't push harder. Pause deeper. Sit with yourself for a moment and ask, am I operating from peace or pressure? Am I chasing because I don't trust the timing? And then I want you to speak this over your life. I don't force, I align. What's mine knows where to find me. Girl, you don't have to fight for what's already yours. Sometimes the most powerful move is surrender. Girl, staying focused in your silent season is about trusting what you're building, even when you can't see it yet. And remember, your quiet consistency now is creating a future you'll be proud to step into. Now, if this message spoke to you, girl, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This is a space for women who are doing the real work. And if you're ready to go even deeper, watch my video, 7 Habits of Highly Disciplined Women next. It's the perfect follow-up to help you lock in your focus and keep showing up for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.